I don't see how you can call it abusive. That's literally definitionally not what that means. You're not abusive just because your girlfriend's family don't like you. Like, you're a bad person because you thought these things. Okay. Like, what were we expecting here?
Women will complain about literally anything.
You can argue a double standard, but you can't argue that it's abuse.
There may be reasons for that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. So
Mr. Girl is the alpha male, essentially.
And we live in a society.
That's then like a threat of like homelessness, basically. So last night, Richard, VeganGains, our guy, our boy, VeganGains, my favorite, went on Turkey Tom's live stream to give him some criticism over his Mr. Girl video. So I thought we'd just take a look at that. Now I can't show the video because it's VODs members only. So just gonna have VeganGains on the screen here. I might even, should I put text up? Let's put some text up, just so everyone knows what's going on. Yeah, I think you're terrified of Beckett, Aiden. I think you'd lose a debate to him. So we're gonna listen to this. I can't show the video. We're gonna listen to this. I've got this on screen. And let's see what what issues VeganGains had with Turkey Tom's Mr. Girl video. Let's hear.
All right, VeganGains. I'm gonna call you. I can't make this super long because I got stuff to get to, but yeah. Yeah, let me just turn on the audio so they can hear. All right, can you just say hi?
Hello.
All right, I think they can hear you. So you want to talk about the Mr. Girl video?
Yeah, there was a section in your video that I kind of disagreed with.
Okay, I've got to turn this up somehow.
It was about him being like emotionally manipulative or abusive with his girlfriends.
Okay, what did you disagree with? I guess specifically.
Yeah, so there's this idea that he's kind of pressuring his girlfriend for sex with like the sex doll thing, demanding that, you know, if she doesn't have sex regularly, then he's gonna like humiliate her by having sex with a sex doll or breaking up. And she also said like she feels uncomfortable about this whole interview and crap, and it feels like it's, you know, pushing her boundaries. I don't think any of his behavior that has been made public can really be construed as being emotionally manipulative or abusive.
Did I call? I don't think I called.
I truly, okay, maybe it's self-report. I don't really get the argument, like the actual argument for why what happened in that Real Doll review is abusive. Okay? I really don't. I understand it looks bad because she's upset. Like, there's a woman upset, so people say it's abuse, I guess. There's a woman upset and the man's not taking care of her. That's the abuse. As far as I can see it. Because what does he say? What does he say in that? He says, like, but this is the setup, right? He says to her, we do these videos about our relationship, or they've agreed, we do these videos about our relationship. You can stop the video at any time. You can just exit the video, at any time. You can say, I'm done. I don't want to be part of this right now. But whatever I record, I'm using. Okay. That's the only way to make the content that Mr. Girl makes. She's agreed to that fully. She goes in. He asks a question that she doesn't like. She does not exit the interview. Even though that's their agreement, even though he gives her all the space to leave the interview, she does not leave the conversation. She doesn't exit. She says, oh, I wouldn't have done this if you knew you were going to ask me that. It's like, well, okay, I'm asking you it. Are you going to leave? And then she's like umming and ahhing. And she wants to like it to continue, but on her terms. And he's like, well, no, the whole point is that this is on my terms. If you don't want to be part of this, you can leave now. And then he doesn't turn it off when she leaves. You hear her crying, which ties into other things Mr. Girl has spoken about, where he claims that she will go into the other room and like cry loudly to try and get like emotional attention, like emotional care. Right? So this is like literally the only way to capture this type of content, and he does it with full clarity and consent. What is I don't understand the abuse part. I don't understand the coercion. I don't understand the harm. No, if their agreement is that he gets the footage that they record, he gets to use. If that's the agreement they have, then that's the agreement. If he's not coercing her into that in any way, or stopping her from exiting, then I don't understand how she can, you can't just withdraw the consent after you've already been doing it, right? You say, I'm going into this interview recording or video conversation recording, knowing that the rules are whatever is filmed, Mr. Girl gets to use, Max gets to use. You consent to that, you go into it, and you can leave at any time. You don't then get to turn around afterwards and be like, okay, but don't use that one. I don't feel like that's not part of the agreement. Now, if you don't want him to use it, and he uses it, and that's past your boundaries, you can leave. You can just exit the relationship, right? Surely that would just be too far, but she hasn't. And so unless you can show some kind of coercion or something that's making her stay, like, I don't see how you can call it abusive. She wouldn't do it if he didn't want her to. Yet, welcome to relationships. But, yeah, people do things that they don't necessarily always want to do, but they agree to do it because they want to do it for the other person. That's not manipulative. That's not manipulative. That's not what manipulative means. That's literally definitionally not what that means. Max is absolutely manipulative. Show me. Show me how. Show me how. I'm open to it. There seems to be a lot of Mr. Girl haters, but not a lot of people that can come up with well-reasoned criticisms. Yeah, exactly. Manipulation is like hiding your intentions or trying to coerce in some way. It's deception or coercion. There's no deception or coercion there. It's, are you okay with doing this? Yes or no? Like, I don't see it. Where is the manipulation? Where's the coercion? Okay, Vosh. My only issue is she can't opt out of videos. Well, she can opt out of videos. She can say, I don't want to be in this video. I'm not going to record anything with you. Or, I'm exiting this video. I'm not recording with you any longer. But part of the agreement is what Max records, he gets to use. So don't get involved in a project if you're not willing to have the footage used. And she can leave at any time. She can just not be part of that. But there's not... If they get into a fight and one of them, and Shaylin doesn't want to release it, like that kind of, it undermines what Mr. Girl is trying to do, right? He's trying to show the most honest, upset, raw parts of their relationship. It doesn't really work if you get too upset, it just gets put on the cutting room floor. Yeah, but Mr. Girl, I'm pretty sure he said that their agreement is that the footage can be used. There's no, that's his footage. Abuse is contextual and dynamic. This is a highly charged and exploitative video that occurred after Max isolated her from her friends and family through his behavior. You're not abusive just because your girlfriend's family don't like you. You have to show him isolating. That's an intention. You're ascribing an intention there. Isolating someone from her friends and family isn't just being someone her family don't like. Isolating, it's intention. You take the actions to separate them. It's all pretty moot anyway, as the final shot of the video is her lying still, pretending to be a doll, implying that she agreed to continue filming later. But even then, I would say, like, you can be isolated from your family while not speaking to them through your own choice, because that can be the result of manipulation. But you can't just say, oh, well, Max is such a weirdo that her family don't want to talk to him, so he's abusive. You're fucking stupid. Yes, he has done that, is on record. Sure, show me. Show me where he said he cut her off from her friends and family. Show me that. What video is it in? It's difficult to make any definitive statements about either of them when we don't know every aspect of the relationship. Guessing on what happens behind the scenes doesn't validate anyone's opinion. There's probably some truth to that. Obviously, people are gonna speculate because Mr. Girl put so much out there that you end up speculating. So where is this video of him saying he deliberately isolated her from her friends and family? I'm still waiting on this. I can almost guarantee Mr. Girl did not say, right, or you're saying that. I almost guarantee you're a fucking idiot and he did not say, I told her not to talk to them. I told her to stop talking to her family. There is almost a 0% chance he said that. Isn't this just infantilizing her? You don't understand. Shaylin is completely retarded. Has no mind of her own. It's like Destiny said, she's a zombie or whatever. Yes, exactly. So you lied. You completely lied. Look at this guy admitting straight up he just fucking lied to me to try and win an argument. I'll have to dig through into my files, bro, but if you want to look up something like, I got us kicked out from another friend group, this is indicative of what I'm talking about. Yeah, he didn't say, stop talking to these people. He didn't say, I'm getting in the way of this. They didn't like him. They just fucking hated him because he said something weird, like he does, because he's a weird guy. And her friends are like, oh, this guy's a fucking weirdo. Why are you with this guy? Why are you with this guy? And then stop talking to her. and because they get into fights over, like, dude, I'm sorry, but you're not obligated to conform to the exact social sensibilities of all of your girlfriend's friends just to keep their comfort. That is like the most retarded drone behavior I think I've ever heard. There is actually, as someone with personal experience in this, there is nothing cuntier to hear from a woman than, oh, can you just like tone it down around my friends? Can you just like when you, dude, I remember one time, holy fuck, man. This stupid bitch was, what did she say? She was like, this stupid bitch, one of my ex-girlfriend's fucking friends said to me, she was like, I was saying something about COVID, I think. And she said, what better evidence is there than just seeing it? And this was in regards to COVID not being like as big of a deal. It was like saying basically, what would you trust more than your eyes? Why don't you just trust your eyes? You know, like that. When I was saying basically, oh, you should look at like actual reporting on it and studies. Or was it about journalism? I can't remember now, but it might have been about journalism. So do you really trust mainstream media? Why don't you trust the shit you see around you or some shit like that? You can say fake story. You say fake story to every story, so that's okay. You can say fake story. I'm telling you, absolutely, absolutely, you do not have to conform to what the people around someone you're trying to date want from you. That is like so beyond retarded. That is so retarded. So you talked about this person before. I'm pretty sure I have told the story before. I can't remember exactly how the conversation went. Oh, caught in 4K saying my ex-girlfriend's ex-girlfriend's ex. We still don't know exactly what Mr. Girl said, though, to make him so hated. I can't remember what the story... wasn't it... Why do I feel like it was something about race? Was it about race? Can't see it. No, I'm talking about Mr. Girl's fucking story, retard. Okay, this Vosh account is annoying as fuck. You're banned. What do you mean, what about Mr. Girl? I just explained, you fucking retard. You're banned. You're annoying. Yeah, very low tier troll. Very low tier. Such a straw man, bro. Not getting on with someone's friends is not the same as a consistent antisocial pattern. Dude, I don't think you know what antisocial means. Just being not particularly appealing, not getting along with people. It's not just antisocial. That's not... You don't know what antisocial even means. Saying things that people find uncomfortable sometimes. That's not antisocial behavior. Having uncomfortable conversations is not antisocial behavior. It's usually stuff that's hostile, aggressive, deceptive, coercive, stuff that interferes with people's like ability to go about their day. Yeah, like whipping it out on the subway. It's not antisocial to say, whoa, I don't think I agree with that thing you just said. I think it's actually a different thing. And then you make them uncomfortable with what your response is, or you make them feel dumb with what your response is and they don't like you anymore. That's not antisocial behavior. This Brian guy probably changes personality with every person having to be a social chameleon rough. I would just like to remind everyone, by the way, that the reason we're on this is because he totally lied to me. The reason, because he totally lied to me in chat and said that there was a clip of Mr. Girl admitting that he deliberately isolated Shaylin from her friends and family. Being honest is antisocial, lying is social. Anyway, let's get back into the VG debate. That's enough of a detour. I can't see this Mr. Girl story. I tried looking for it. So we can't see the context for what it was, again, Brian said. Yeah, exactly. Being antisocial isn't avoiding people. It's not even upsetting people. It's being aggressive towards others and actively trying to cause harm. Yeah, exactly. It's doing things that you know are harmful to others. Or doing things that you should know are harmful to others. It's a little harmful to publish people's name and face and name for shaming. Not gonna lie, a little shitty, dude. What are you even talking about? Bro, what the fuck are you on about? I'm talking about Brian. Censored. Okay. Low effort troll. Same Vosh account. Low effort troll. Same person on the Vosh account. Aiden, find something to do with your time. Aiden, go start up a live stream. Dude, did I... Oh my god. I think I searched in the wrong box. What did I... Wait, why can't I find this now? Dude, I'm fucking losing it. Okay. I'll pull up from history, I guess. It's fine.
I don't think I called him emotionally manipulative in the video, but obviously I did.
I don't think you did, but you brought up the point that a lot of people think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would obviously a lot of people think it is. I mean, to me, he seems like Mr. Girl seems like he's so I feel like I'm paying him a compliment here. Maybe I guess it is a compliment. He's so honest, he can't not say exactly how he feels in the most like direct way possible. And sometimes that makes him look like a fucking horrible person, especially with like the cutie stuff, you know.
Well, yeah, it's also hard to tell how honest he's really being, or if he's just making a joke about it.
I mean, with the cuties thing, I
the-
think he was being honest for sure.
Yeah, that's gross and fucking weird. But as far as his relationships, here's the thing: like, women will always do this. Like, they'll complain about fucking anything, and
Okay, I understand being a little bit maybe freaked out by the cuties review, especially if you haven't thought about those things before. Obviously, the point he was trying to make in the cuties review was about the framing, about how sexualized media being applied to kids is wrong, and that's the point of the movie. However, I understand why people are freaked out by it. But I don't get how you can say it makes him seem like a horrible person and stuff like that. There's no moral wrong committed there. You could say it shows like a disordered mind, a sick mind. It doesn't show him to be a horrible person. He doesn't talk about acting on anything. It's like the idea that it's like thought crime shit. It's like actual thought crime shit. Like, you're a bad person because you thought these things. Okay.
and I don't care if people say that I'm sexist for saying this. It's just true. No matter what you do, they'll fucking complain.
Good point.
And
They do
this-
complain. They're known to do that. I agree with you completely. Yeah.
This is like, it's weird how people said Mr. Girl is being emotionally manipulative when you can see his girlfriend at the time. I think they're married now, right? She was saying, "You're pushing my boundaries." Well, that's a very easy tool that women and men use to try to manipulate their partner into doing what they want. And people do this all the time too, especially with women. We remove all agency from women as soon as they show any signs of distress.
Would you
Like,
not say
you're
that it's, I
pushing
mean,
my-
like slightly manipulative to like get her on camera and then bring up, I mean, she said it herself in the video,
No.
like, you know, bring up the topic of what he wanted to talk about when she didn't know that that was what it was going to be about?
So first of all,
No, because if they set the terms, they set the bounds of what this can be, and they set, like, okay, you can leave at any time and all this stuff, and it's totally consenting, and they know what's going on, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to give, like, a... Like, what topics did she think was going to be discussed? In the conversation about their relationship, about the real doll, their relationship with the real doll, did she think their sex life wasn't going to come up? Like, what were we expecting here? Tom has to be walking on eggshells when he's talking to any girl ever, dude. Holy. He is terrified. The thing is, I don't believe he does. I don't believe that anyone acts the way that, like, Ken doll commentary YouTubers want to pretend. Everyone gets upset in relationships. Everyone has fucking arguments. Everyone has to fucking, like, negotiate sexual boundaries and shit in relationships. And sometimes it's fucking awkward. Just the thing is, most people do it in this really disgusting, manipulative way that most people are forced by society to adopt, where no one ever says what they actually mean. No one ever actually says what they actually want or what they actually mean. They talk around it and they go, "Oh, well, would you be okay? Maybe if we could, like, try this. Maybe we could, like, try this sometime and see what you think of it. Maybe we could maybe would you mind doing that?" Instead of just saying, "I want you to lie still like a doll and not enjoy it and just get fucked. Are you okay with that? How many times a month can you do that for me?" Yeah, everyone else goes, "Oh, maybe could I please, how about if I just, just the tip in your ass? Just the tip in your ass once. Maybe. That's how most people do it, in this horrible, slimy way, where they try to conceal what they actually want.
I don't necessarily believe her when she says that. Like, they're talking about a sex doll and everything, and the conversation was clearly leading towards their sex life, so I don't even believe her when she says that. Secondly, even if that's the case, she's a legal adult. Judging by the way she looks, she's at least in her 20s. Like, probably mid to late 20s. Like, you can't just take away all agency from women and claim they're a victim of abuse and manipulation, and the only reason they're doing this is because they're being manipulated and abused. She's an adult. If she didn't want to be in that relationship, if she didn't want to have that conversation, if she didn't want to have it recorded, she could have left at any time. She could have left this guy at any time and got her own apartment or dated somebody else. And they're married now and they're still together. So like women, like again, women will complain about literally anything, even when you do everything you ask of them. And when you do everything you ask of them, you're just going to make it seem as though you're a weak fucking beta male. They play these games all the time. Oh, you're pushing my boundaries. Oh, I need more love and attention. Go out.
So I'm not gonna lie, VeganGains' argument kind of goes off the rails for me. Because he does just start going on about alpha males and shit. Kind of goes off the rails towards the end here. There's some truth in what he's saying, but I feel like you can very easily defend this without getting into this retarded shit.
Don't go out and see your friends. Oh, you have to come with me to some stupid thing you hate because I'm gonna feel alone. And
except Brian, why do you keep lying? Why are you still calling someone abusive after being caught lying about your evidence for it? Why are you still calling someone abusive when you've been found to be lying? Literally just straight up fucking lying about what happens in their relationship.
when you give into all this shit,
Yeah.
it's true. When you give into all of this shit, they're going to lose respect for you and they're going to leave. And case in point, Mr. Girl doesn't give into this fucking bullshit. He doesn't give into this bullshit. You're pushing my boundaries. He understands that, like, he can set the terms of the relationship. And if he wants to have a relationship where she has to have sex a certain amount of times, or else he's going to leave her, or he's going to try to humiliate her with a sex doll or something, or he wants to have her show up on camera, or else he leaves. Those are the terms of his relationship, and she seems to be totally fine with those terms. If she wasn't, she would have fucking left.
What is your feeling on Mr. Girl in general? I'm curious. You talked to him, I assume, back in the day on those panels, yeah?
I don't think I ever had any direct conversation with him. The one huge disagreement that I have with him is obviously the, like, pedophile stuff. It's still hard to understand his actual position.
Okay, fan of monkeys, I half agree, and then you're also missing something. I don't think Mr. Girl is abusive, but VeganGains' argument made no sense to begin with. Saying she can leave and get her own apartment, they're married now, completely misses the control aspect of abuse. Yeah, but you have to, like, demonstrate that control, right? That control there has to be something controlling going on. She can leave and get her own place. That's saying there isn't anything controlling going on, right? Now, if you can demonstrate that in some way she is being coerced out of that, or you know, talked out of that with some kind of incentive or something, like if he's trying to control how she feels about that and control who she talks to about that, then yeah, we can make that argument. But generally, women are adults. They can take actions themselves and live their own lives. They can leave a relationship if it's bad. They can get into a relationship if they think it's good. Like, there is a base level of, like, adult agency, and you have to demonstrate that that is being impaired in some way to show that it's abusive.
On some of these things, I know he did argue that, you know, watching child porn online that's already been created and not paying for it, he doesn't see that as a moral issue. I totally disagree with that.
Well, yeah, that was a very perplexing thing to me, because wouldn't he necessarily understand that, like, the production of it is immoral, and if you're watching it, you're contributing to more being made by giving it clicks and, I guess, I don't know, ad revenue, if that's what child porn sites have?
The Steelman argument for that is, if it is child pornography that's already being produced and you're not paying for it, thus creating more of a demand, then you're not committing any additional harm. I would disagree with that, because
I can't put on the correct tab. I don't screen share my other browser, and it's a members only video, so I can't pull it up. That's why I've got the text on screen.
There's privacy laws that forbid you from sharing
Tom, members only is his things.
images like that, whether it's an adult or a child.
I mean,
So
even beyond that, it's like, I just think that normalizing that kind of thing in society, as far as, like, people watching that kind of thing, is probably not a good thing. Yeah,
Culturally, you don't want that sort of stuff to be seen as okay.
Yeah.
Wait, VeganGains streamed it too? Not the sex reassignment surgery video. Did I give Tom $5 when I shouldn't have? No, I don't see it.
For
But
sure.
that's the only like major disagreement I have with him when it comes to child sexual exploitation. Otherwise, his stuff in college was hilarious. Like he was talking about catching Asians with butterfly nets. I don't know why
Yeah.
people took any of that seriously.
Well, in high school and college, he was very, very funny. He's even funny now with his songs and stuff. But obviously, the problem is I think he's probably a pedophile. But when it comes to the high school and college rants, they were hilarious. Okay. I mean, the reason why people
he's a pedophile who, you know, dates exclusively adult women, has never acted on it. You know, dates women older than him, fucks women older than him. But he's probably a pedophile. Okay. I don't think we know what pedophile is. I don't think we know what a pedophile is, but that's fine.
People took issue with it is because, you know, I mean, he said it himself. He went to a very liberal high school. He went to a very liberal college. Like, these are institutions that, you know, they hear the slightest hint of racism and they cry foul, right?
Yeah. But I just wanted to come on here to point out that I don't think anybody should look at any publicly available information with him talking with his girlfriend or about sex or anything as any of that being indicative of abusive or manipulative behavior.
Do you think that part of the reason people took it that way so far is because he was accusing like Destiny or others of being emotionally manipulative, and that might be why it was kind of taken that way as well as strong as it was?
That doesn't seem to be part of anyone's argument in favor of that. Anything as any of that being indicative of abusive or manipulative behavior.
Do you think that part of the reason people took it that way so far is because he was accusing like Destiny or others of being emotionally manipulative, and that might
he wasn't when the Real Doll review came out. He was not accusing Destiny of that, as far as I remember.
Be why it was kind of taken that way as well as strong as it was.
Not, and that's a stupid argument because double standards. You can argue a double standard, but you can't argue that it's abuse, right? Based on the double standard. A double standard only points out that a person's beliefs are wrong. It doesn't necessarily point out any fact about the actions, you know? Like, you can't ascribe the label of abuse to it just because he's a hypocrite. That's not how that works.
That doesn't seem to be part of...
Why are you nitpicking? It's not like Tom made a Mr. Girl documentary a few days ago.
Anyone's argument in favor of that idea. It seems...
What I mean is, I don't know if it's part of their argument. I just mean they became more critical of him for his relationships because he was being so critical of others, right?
I mean, it's possible, but like, if that was their feeling, I would imagine they'd express that in their argument. And again, the argument is, oh, he's not doing what his girlfriend wants. That's essentially what it boils down to. And I think that's partly because, one, we live in a society...
Well, isn't it more his girlfriend wasn't doing what he wanted?
Well, yeah. But again, you can set the terms of
your
relationship.
Well, it was both. It was both. He was saying, I want you to do this thing, and then she started trying to regain control by being like, oh, well, like, how often? Like, when do I have to think about this for? And all this shit. Started asking questions back, and he was refusing to engage with that because he was trying to just get his questions answered, right? That was like the interaction, the Real Doll stuff. And that's what he claims, right? He says, she tries to regain control by, when I ask something, she wants to reframe it into asking something for herself.
Have sex every day with your girlfriend, or else you're gonna leave, or else you're gonna, I don't know, humiliate her with a sex doll. Then these are adults. Women aren't children. They're adults. They can make their own fucking decisions. And I think people also fundamentally don't understand female psychology. Women generally like masculine men who do what they want, set the rules, and they complain about fucking everything. They'll find a way to complain about anything, even when you give them what they want.
Don't you think it's still bad to like pester her or like, you know, I mean, I don't know if the word pressure is too loaded, but to be like, we're going to break up unless you have sex with me every single day, like stuff like that, like, you know.
Nope. You can set the terms of your relationship. And again, case in point, she's still...
I mean, like, if you're upfront and you don't use any coercion or manipulation to get there, yeah, you can say, I'm only going to be in a relationship if we're having sex every day. You can that is a boundary you can set. Yeah, as long as you're upfront about it. Don't coerce, don't manipulate. Lay the cards out on the table and just say, hey, this one from a relationship, if that's not the case. And don't do like threatening to leave, trying to make people do things, hanging it over their head. Just set the boundary, and that's your boundary. Sure, yeah. I mean, you could, yeah.
You can find.
Well, it's not really a boundary. It's like a rule for your relationship. It's like a requirement of a relationship, basically. But yeah, if you lay it out, you set the terms. You can come to a mutual agreement about the terms of a relationship. It's like saying, I'll only date a guy who makes 6 figures for women, right?
Many examples of women complaining about their boyfriends or husbands pressuring them in that sort of way, as you can find men who act like beta male cucks, say, oh yeah, sure, if you're not in the mood, I'll just wait.
I think Mr. Gold, setting a boundary is some form of manipulation. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that's, you fundamentally misunderstand Mr. Gold if you think he thinks that.
Until you're in the mood, or, oh, I won't go out with my friends because you don't want me to, and then these same men end up getting broken up with because these women are looking for more masculine men. So
well, I mean, the thing is, like, sometimes they'll stay with guys who are shitty regardless of whatever they do, you know? Like, I don't think that because she's with him, I don't think that's a great argument, you know?
Well, here's the thing. Women will stay in abusive relationships, certainly, but I think there may be reasons for that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. One of the reasons being, women are just generally attracted to men who are masculine. And if you show dominance and control, even if it is abusive, some of these women will stay in those abusive relationships because they are getting that benefit from the relationship of being with a masculine man. And that may be uncomfortable for a lot of people to handle. But I think that is likely part of it.
Do you think they're staying because the guy is masculine, or do you think they're staying because they have some like twisted sense of love, where it's like, oh, I like him so much, so I'll just let him do whatever shitty thing he wants to me, right?
So that can also be the case, but again, you shouldn't just infantilize women and think they're children with no agency. People generally do things that are like sensible to some extent. Yeah, you can find extreme examples of women only staying in the relationship because they think their boyfriend is literally going to kill them otherwise. I'm not saying that's acceptable, but I'm saying it is likely the case in a lot of these situations. Women are staying with some of these guys who are somewhat abusive because they're one of the few men they find where they are showing those masculine behaviors, where it's their way or the highway, they set the rules, and they get a kick out of that. Like, that's what they're looking for. And they're willing to put up with some of this abuse. But with that said, I don't see any evidence of abuse from Mr. Girl. I haven't seen any, like, videos of him where he pushes his girlfriend into a corner and just screams at the top of his lungs in her face, saying, like, I'm gonna, like, fucking destroy all your computer, your laptop, your TV. I'm gonna ruin all your fucking clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like this, of like coercion and threatening behavior. This is like more towards abusive. These are when you can start saying like there's something going on here. But just like getting in fights, being upset with each other, it's about how you handle that and how that manifests that creates like an abusive or toxic relationship. It's not just the act of fighting or the act of getting upset. It is about the ways that is handled in the relationship and whether that is used to coerce, control.
If you don't like do what I say, I've never seen him hit anybody or hit her. So like when he just uploads videos where she's saying, I feel uncomfortable with this, well, great. That could very easily be a manipulative tactic by her to try to get what she wants. And when you give women what they want, that doesn't always lead to the best relationship circumstances, because they're just going to see that as a sign of weakness, and they're going to end up leaving you and look for a guy who doesn't cave in to this manipulative bullshit. So
Mr. Girl is the alpha male, essentially.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's the most masculine man. Like, he doesn't lift. I don't think he can bench 2 plates or anything. But that is...
Yeah, exactly. And if we did hit her, we'd know about it, because there'd be a part 2 to us, how I learned to stop hitting women. How I learned to stop hitting women again.
Is a masculine characteristic to not listen to women, set the rules, tell her we're gonna have sex a certain amount of time, or else I'm leaving, or else I'm gonna have sex with a sex doll. And if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. That is a masculine characteristic, and there's nothing abusive or manipulative about that. And I think a lot of people are seeing that as manipulative or abusive because we infantilize women, and we live in a society where typical masculine behavior is now frowned upon, and it's seen as abusive or sexist when it's not. You have every right to demand things in a relationship, and women are adults, assuming you're dating an adult. If they don't like it, they can leave. There's nothing abusive of saying, we're going to fuck every day or else you're going to leave.
Okay. What do you think about the video overall? How'd you feel about it?
I liked your video.
Okay, so the way VeganGains phrased that, there actually are ways that can be abusive. If you've got someone living with you, they've got nothing else, they've got no other way of getting money or anything like that, and you're like, I'm going to kick you out unless you do this thing, that is coercive. That is coercive. However, simply saying, I will not stay in a relationship unless, you know, these things are happening as an upfront thing, as like, this is my requirement for a relationship, that's fine. That's fine. But you have to be like upfront and talk about it openly and be willing to sort of like negotiate a little. It can't be, you know, either, you know, we're 6 months to a year into cohabitating. You're having sex with me every day, otherwise you're getting kicked out. That is coercive at that point, because you're putting a threat, right? That's no longer just, I'm not, you know, part of this. That's then like a threat of like homelessness, basically.
I appreciate how you didn't just make him out to be some like fucking, I don't know, annoying pedophile jackass. And I think you had a fair kind of a fair take on it. I think the propensity of evidence suggests that he may have a moderate to light attraction to children. Again, it's hard to tell how much he's being serious because he clearly tries to get a rise out of people.
He does, but he definitely.
Yeah. Dropping ultimatums in relationships is generally pretty bad anyway.
Really, also, like, even before he got big on YouTube, he wrote that article saying pedophilia is a spectrum and we're all on it. I mean, based on that, I'm inclined to think that he definitely is.
Stupid, or the stupid reading of that post.
A pedo. I mean, in some way, you know, I don't know where he would rank on his spectrum, but yeah.
Yeah, but as far as things go, I haven't seen him try to abuse any children. He is in a relationship with an adult, and I do think he's hilarious, especially his articles he wrote in college.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I mean, even his songs are pretty fucking funny. It sucks, you know, some of the content for sure of them, but, you know, I guess what can you say? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I didn't take a super strong stance on him as a person in the video because I just feel like I don't need to. I'd rather get out of the way of it and just tell the story. But
yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he is a really fascinating dude. I'll say that. You know, he's interesting. I really enjoyed reading about him for sure. He was he's a funny guy to watch. I listen to some of his songs at the gym still. He has a song IDDQD, which is
banger.
One of his lines is, "I'm not a pedophile, I'm a child molester," which is a crazy line. But it's a great song.
I would never say anything like that publicly. Like, even if I had those thoughts, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. He's on a different level, but hey, it is what it is.
Anyway, yeah, because he's a real one, and you absolute fake as fuck. You fake as fuck. Is he a real one, and you fake as fuck? Wow, guys, wow, crazy stuff, guys. Is this real, chat? Chat, is this real?